Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be discussing my thoughts on the Naval Review and the decisions made by the Defence Minister Richard Marles. Obviously, it has been very controversial, with media outlets such as Sky News losing their literal shit approximately 20 seconds after the review was released, and many commentators lashing out the program, with criticisms including the government not spending enough, the government not doing enough, the ships not being delivered on time, the government for not buying unmanned vessels, and then once they say that they're going to buy unmanned vessels, turning around and saying that it's a mistake or it's stupidity, claiming that it's warmongering, claiming that we don't need money put into our military, because what's possibly wrong with it? The point that I'm trying to make is that there is a lot of criticism, be it fair or not, and with this video I will attempt to give you my honest opinions. First of all, I shall start with the decisions made. The review has delivered a series of recommendations, with the government reducing the Hunter-class frigate fleet from 9 down to 6, upgrading the Hobart-class air warfare destroyers with a higher-level air defence system, purchasing 11 general-purpose frigates, which can carry 16 missiles in their vertical launch cells, and an investment into 6 arsenal ships, which can carry 34 vertical launch cells each. Not only this, but the government has also planned the procurement of 25 minor war vessels to contribute to maritime safety operations and security. This includes 6 offshore patrol vessels, which are most likely going to be of the Arafura class. Now, this is all good. However, what are the problems with these decisions? How do they impact our military? Well, the greatest issues are time and manpower. We don't really have enough of either. This means that the frigates, arsenal ships, and minor war vessels must be delivered within an extremely tight time frame, along with an expansion of the Navy, which is currently mothballing surface ships due to a lack of personnel. The Albanese government intends for most of the ships to be delivered by the mid-2030s and the early 2040s, meaning that we are likely to see ships being delivered within 10 years. The biggest issue with this is that it may simply be too late, with official projections and estimates saying that a potential war with a hostile nation could take place in any time between the next 1 to 10 years. With potential conflicts ranging from counterinsurgency operations in the Middle East to outright conflict with China, or perhaps even a desperate Russia trying to seek victory through an alternative front line. Not only that, but there is the very real risk that we may not have the manpower to even operate these ships, particularly due to the fact that the government seeks to increase the amount of vessels that we have to double that of what we currently have right now, and buying nuclear submarines that will require crews around twice the size of their current ones. However, these are not the only issues. In other videos I have discussed why I do not like the Hunter-class frigates, and why they are a waste of money and they're not worth having the spending that's being put into them. I still hold that opinion. It is disappointing to see that the government didn't choose to replace the project with another class of vessel, or at the very least choose to buy an upgunned version of the warship. This places serious concerns on whether or not our Navy is even being equipped to actually fight an upcoming war, and that we are not getting any value for our money, nor a lethal or effective role from the ship. Then of course we come to the arsenal ships. Whilst I am a fan of this concept, I do have several criticisms. The first is that it would have been much more effective if they could carry a larger payload of missiles, potentially around 60 to 90 rockets instead of the current 34, which is not particularly formidable, particularly when compared with the payloads carried by Chinese vessels and various other assets across various different navies. Another issue I have is that this is only a proof of concept ideology, with no official tender put out or any being actually awarded to a company, which means that the vessels may not even be delivered. Obviously though, if they can be put into our military, I would be very happy to see, and I think that would be a general boost to our defence force. Now, of course, we come to the new frigates, which are quite a breath of fresh air, providing a massive boost to our capacity as a light surface combatant, which will offer more vessels to support expeditionary fleets, carry out basic operations alongside allies, and augment our anti-ship capabilities. There have been several commentators that have criticised the lack of missiles on board the vessels, as they only carry 16 missiles in the vertical launch cells. However, this ignores their use. These vessels are not supposed to slug it out as major combatants. This was never really their role at all. That job is for the larger vessels, such as the Hunter and Hobart class, which is why I'm so critical as to their lack of missile systems on board. These smaller vessels will be able to carry out more mundane roles, such as protecting Australian surface fleets, boosting anti-ship missile numbers being deployed against a hostile force, and protecting trade. Roles that will not need a massive cruise missile or strike capability, but a basic protection system with a reliable anti-ship missile armament. It must also be considered that we will not need a massive warship for every single engagement. With conflicts in the Middle East, or where hostile nations will not have major surface combatants to require ships of equal size to counter or compete with. It just means that we've got a general purpose ship, as the name kind of says, that can do basically anything we really want. But yeah. Finally, we'll move on to the 25 minor war vessels. These vessels are presumably going to be corvette-type warships, which means they will likely carry an anti-ship or anti-air missile, a heavier autocannon, and a helicopter permanently on board. There is a lot of speculation that these vessels are going to be built by the German shipbuilding company Lürssen, who are currently producing the Arafura class offshore patrol vessel. Lürssen has a model of corvette, which is similar in size to the Arafura, carries a heavier armament, including a 76mm cannon, an air defense system, and 2 anti-ship missiles. These vessels will be a major boost to the Australian Navy if they are delivered within an effective and reasonable time frame. I'm going to finish the video saying this. The Naval Review has provided a lot of good ideas, but nothing more. The review has put forward lots of good concepts, but has failed to deal with the many major issues that is faced by Navy right now. Now, and I need to make this clear, this isn't just Albanese's fault. This is consecutive governments that have been fucking this up. But the thing is, Albanese is the one who passed this. And I don't expect this stuff to be solved overnight. I don't expect these problems to be dealt with by tomorrow. That's impossible. That's illogical. But what the problem is that we are still faced by huge amounts of issues. And they do need to be solved. We are still buying the Hunter-class vessels, which are overpriced, oversized, and underarmed. And there is a very real possibility that the assets that we seek to purchase will not arrive on time, and that they could experience both cost and time blowouts. And even if the government manages to avoid these issues, they will still need to drastically grow the Navy in personnel, which will take extensive investments in reworking of our recruitment system in order to attract new personnel for the Navy and armed forces. This makes me concerned that our Navy will not be fit for purpose in any upcoming conflict, nor will we be able to fight on our own. We do not have sufficient stockpiles of ammunition, and the factories are still going to be built within the next 10 years, which means that once they open, it'll take about 1 to 3 years to get into full production and build the weapons we need. So that's really a 13, 14, 15 year time frame. But yeah, that's really it for now. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. It is greatly appreciated, and I really thank you also for the support. We have hit 75 subscribers in the last week, and that's just absolutely amazing. I thank you all so very much for the support. And once more, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe, and I will catch you all in the next one. Thank you all so very much for watching. Goodbye.